Have you ever wanted to use a music clip or video clip in your YouTube videos but were too afraid to because you might get a copyright strike? Well, that's an interesting question, and today what we're going to be talking about is how to legally use copyright protected music in your own videos. And we're going to also look at how to find those particular videos, what kind of sites you can go to find them. And then we're going to also look at different ways that you might use the music in your videos. So I want to welcome everybody here. My name is Herman Drost, and my YouTube channel is all about how to create videos or how to use online video to generate traffic, leads, and sales on autopilot. And I've been doing it for a few years, and I've got I can truthfully say that based upon my experience that if you create videos that get good engagement and optimize correctly, you can get those videos working for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, bringing in subscribers, bringing in views, bringing in leads and sales. So the great thing about YouTube is that it's a search engine, and you can just do the work once, and then that video can be working for you year after year, day after day, hour after hour on autopilot. So not all videos are going to do that, but sometimes video won't take off till like several weeks, months, or even years after you've actually invested up front. So I want to welcome everybody here. We've got, we've got Cliff Davis, we've got Flair TV Broadcast, we've got Speedy Gone Cuba, Ramesh Should. So let me ask you a question. Has anybody here used copyright protected music in their own videos? Put that in the chat. Just to tell a little story about what happened with me, I think it was last year, I had a video that was 4 years old and had 40,000 views, and one day I got an email from YouTube saying that I used copyright protected music. I used 2 seconds in that particular video, so they removed the video, everything. So I tried to track down the copyright holder that had the music, and I think it was a company. The problem is, you got the original artist, then you got the company representing the artist, so it's kind of an involved process. But I decided to try to appeal the decision, but the appeal was denied. So as a result, I lost the revenue and lost the views, not the subscribers, but the views, the revenue from that video. But it was a great lesson because I just used 2 seconds of music that I thought, at the time, that was 4 years ago, I wasn't really familiar, with how to use music in your videos. But as a result, that video was taken down and has never come back. So I just thought I'd share that little story with you, because if you're using copyrighted music in your videos and you don't use it in the right way, that particular artist, if they see that you're using it without their permission, can actually ask YouTube to remove it, share revenue with you. So there's different ways that can happen, but you can't get a copyright strike. And if you get 3 strikes, well, no, wait a minute, you get a warning, then you get a strike, and then you get 2 more strikes and your channel's terminated. So you don't want to risk that. So in today's live stream, or if you're watching the replay, then I'm going to be talking about how you can legally use that copyrighted music in your own videos and avoid the copyright strike. So it's not 100%, because the nature of the copyright rules is that things can happen. But just to give you some idea, how you can navigate and limit any kind of liability. So what can music do for you? I kind of use some music in my own videos, but I find that especially when you have a long video, say it's 10 minutes or 15 minutes or even a 5-minute video, it can kind of break up the monotony. Like if it's a talking head video, if you have some uplifting music, or the music can fill in the gaps of in between different scenes, or in between different talking points, or you can have music starting at the beginning and then you switch to a different subject. You can change the music. You can have up-tempo music or uplifting music. So maybe somebody that's watching your video, they're depressed, or they're having a hard day, or they're angry, but the music can help to uplift and inspire them, and also it can help them to consume your content more easily. So it kind of eliminates those dead spots, can change the mood of your audience, etc. So the only difficult thing sometimes is what kind of music should you use, and I'll use that for another day. Maybe somebody that's really an expert on that can talk more about that. But let's talk about what is copyrighted music. The copyrighted music means that particular audio or that particular music actually belongs to the original artist that created it. So it's going to belong to them. And so and there's a myth with a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people using video, saying, well, I can just use any music that I get from anywhere on the net and use it in my video if I just put some attribution in the description, because I don't own it, but I'm giving credit to the original owner. So then isn't that legal use? Well, actually it's not, because it's kind of a myth, because the original artist hasn't really given you permission. So when you use that music, it's actually protected, just like anything online. You can't steal somebody else's images, can't steal somebody else's videos, you can't steal somebody else's images, music, etc. So but there is instances where, and I'll explain this later, where you can use that copyrighted music based upon the license and the permission that the original artist is giving you. So you can use the copyrighted music in your videos with certain instances. So what happens is that many musicians, they instead of using the copyrighted music, they actually release their particular their music or their audio. So it comes under like a Creative Commons license, and a Creative Commons license means that everyone's free to use it as long as you give attribution to the artist in the description of your video. So it's just like I had a video last week talking about fair use. So if you use just a small piece of that video and transform it, or particularly giving, with Creative Commons, you are free to kind of reuse it and edit the video or the music as you like, but you've got to give attribution in the description of your videos. So let's look at some of the places that you can get Creative Commons music. And just to reiterate, when you use Creative Commons music, then you're free to reuse, to edit it, and put it in your videos. So I'm going to switch to the screen share and go through some of the sites that you can use where you can find Creative Commons music. So I'm going to switch over here. So the first one, and you're probably familiar with this, is the YouTube audio library. And you can go there by going to youtube.com/library. And then you got the free music over here, and you got sound effects. So the good thing about the audio library is that this music is free, and you can also search by genre. You got the drop down here. You got alternative punk. We've got ambient, children's, etc. We've got the mood. We've got angry, bright, calm, etc. I got instrumental, acoustic guitar, bass, drums, etc. And then you got duration. So you might just want some for 30 seconds or 2 minutes, etc. And then here you've got attribution not required or attribution required. So usually when it's not required, then that's kind of the best, because you don't have to put anything in the description. But maybe there's some music there that you really like, and then attribution may be required. Or you can just do a search, and you can put in hip hop here for music and do a quick search. So the beauty about the YouTube audio library is that YouTube has screened these songs that can be used in your videos. So they're free to use, and then that sometimes when you do use some of these songs, I think if we go to like music policies, let's have a look here, they also have a directory list of songs and their current policies set by copyright holders. So here it has like revenue sharing. So it says eligible for revenue sharing, not eligible for revenue sharing. So eligible for revenue sharing means that you can use this particular song, but you cannot monetize that particular. You cannot monetize the video where you're using that song in. So you can't put any AdSense ads on it, but you can use the song in your video. Just keep in mind that you're sharing the revenue with the original artist. So if you want to avoid that, then you want to go back to the audio library and just choose the free music or the sound effects. So another one is SoundCloud. And this is a great one too, because you can actually use these free music that artists have put on here, where you can just sort of they got a search bar here. We've got a library here also. So we've got album songs, etc. So recently I looked at country music, and then I looked at the hip hop music, etc. So when you use that, just make sure that you're giving attribution to that particular artist, or check the particular license. But usually the songs or the music that's on the SoundCloud is Creative Commons music, so that means it's kind of free to use. But I think a good thing to keep in mind is, even if you use the Creative Commons audio or music, is just give attribution anyway in the description, just to kind of safeguard yourself. Now another one is the bend sound, and this is also royalty-free music, and you can easily search for any particular music, and the black download buttons means that you are free to use those particular videos. They also have other videos as well, but they got acoustic folk, cinematic, electronica, urban groove, jazz, rock, etc. Then if we look at the licensing, it says it's got Creative Commons license with the black download button. So most of those I just showed you have the black download button, and they're free to use as long as you credit bensound.com. So then they give you an example, the proper way to credit that particular music. So you put music, then the URL of Ben Sounds, or music song title from bensounds.com. But it says you cannot claim the music as your own. You cannot register music in your own store or platform, use the music for audio podcasts, or cannot make a remix of the music. So check the licensing. It is Creative Commons, but just check the licensing and make sure that you give proper attribution. The next one is the free play music. This is at the top here. It says over 50,000 songs that are free for YouTube and more. So they do have a pricing schedule, but here you can use 50,000 songs. These are free to use. But if we go to pricing, then it's got, if you're going to use it for business, then of course they're going to charge you. So here they got $250 a year, $25 a year, etc. But if we go to personal, then it says you can use one track and one video in personal social media that appears in a non-revenue generating personal video. And personal videos cannot in any way be used to promote your business. And those are free because, well, here it says, one track, one video appears strictly in non-revenue generating, and you can use it in perpetuity. It's a tough word. And cost is $0. So you can use all these songs for 50,000 particular songs for your YouTube videos, so long as you're not generating, not using it for a business website, etc. So I think that's a good one. This is like a free domain, which means that you can use any of these, and it's also Creative Commons. So you can just kind of scroll through all of these, or you could use the use a search bar. So those are actually the four different places that you can get Creative Commons music. So if you want to steer clear of any copyright problems, with music, probably the best way to go is to use Creative Commons music, and same with videos. If you want to get put some video or some image in your videos, then Creative Commons is the way to go. So with music, same thing applies, just use the Creative Commons music. But there's another way that you can use copyright protected music, and that's with those artists that are selling the license to their particular songs. So and when they sell the license, you can actually purchase that particular license, or what's called royalty free. So royalty free really means that you have the right to use the copyright protected music without paying recurring fees. So you can download the song, you can purchase the song, and then you can use it over and over again. You don't have to pay recurring fees for that particular song. So in other words, the royalty free music allows the buyer to pay for the music license only once. Then you can use the music for as long or however often you want to use it. So basically just buying that one piece of music. So they're giving you that permission. So with royalty free music, usually you pay a fee, but there's also royalty free music which allows you to that is free. So there's some sites that are free, and some sites where you're paying actually for the royalty free license. So I'm going to go to screen share again and show you some of these sites. Oh, good to see you, Brubeck boy. Probably from New Zealand. Good to see you there. So we're going to go to screen share, and I'll show you some of these sites. So let's see. Okay, this was the one I showed before, but the first one is the Epidemic Sounds. And you can go there by going to epidemicsound.com, and you do have to pay for these tracks. but they have all kinds of genres. They have moods, angry, dark, dreamy, eccentric. I know a lot of YouTubers use the epidemic sounds because it's really good music. You got movement, so busy and frantic, changing tempo. You got places, energy, tempo, length, etc. So, and then you can also browse. Let's see if this is working. Okay, so here's the browse. Yeah, so there's different ones that you got here. So another way that if you're a member of the TubeBuddy, and I am a member, then let me show you that. If we go to TubeBuddy and you go to member perks, then you can see here you've got where is it? Down here you got epidemic sounds, and it says you get 25% off. So if you're a paid member of TubeBuddy, which is a free Chrome extension that allows you to do keyword research for YouTube videos, and it also helps you to look at where your keywords are ranking and your tags, and how to manage your channel, etc. But if you upgrade to the paid version, then you get this epidemic sound offer where they're giving you 25% off. Then if we scroll up here, where is that? Audio Hero. You can also use Audio Hero, and this is free music tracks and sound effects, 250,000 of them that you all get for free. So, so that's a pretty good deal. So if you upgrade to the paid version of TubeBuddy, some of you probably have it already, you get 250,000 premium, royalty-free music tracks and sound effects, and you get it all for free. So you got the Audio Hero, and you also got the Juke Deck here, which is musical artificial intelligence. That's also free, which is normally 99 cents per track. And you got three, well, it's not music, but you've also got this epidemic sound. So just to let you know about that, moving right along, we've also got Audio Jungle. And this is royalty-free music and audio tracks starting from $1. So here it says 869,419 tracks and sounds from the community of musicians and sound engineers. So the good thing about this, they've got a great search function here. And then they got all these newest audio or royalty-free music from the community. So you can choose any one of these. So if we go to music, and then you can just choose any one of those. So you do have to pay for them, but this is Audio Jungle is part of Storyblocks, but you can go to audiojungle.net and just do a search on the type of music you want to get. But they also have videos, they have graphics, photos, etc. that you can also pay. I think it's a yearly subscription. So that's Audio Jungle. And then we've also got Audio Blocks, which is unlimited royalty-free audio. So you get music, sound effects, and loops you need with a low-cost subscription. So this is subscription-based. Let's look at their plans and pricing. You can get basic, which is 5 downloads per month, which is probably enough that you need, or you get unlimited for $12 a month, and you can save up to 50% if you build annually, and then you get unlimited all access as well. But probably just the basics probably good enough. But you got the music here, And so you got all these different ones. You got a search bar here. You can do a search for the type of music or type of sound effects you want, and then you can have loops. So sound effects, you got alarms, animals, applause, balloons, etc. Music, you got aggressive, happy and upbeat, playful and silly, instrumental, genres, and then you've got also loops and collections. So that gives you some idea of what you can use at Audio Blocks, and you just go to audioblocks.com, and if you want to sign up for a subscription, you can choose that. But let me give you some other options. We've got also something called Jamendo, and Jamendo is also royalty free. But so you got a 2-week free trial if you want to try that. And then you got a catalog here of the different music you can try. So they also have a search bar. And over here you got the genre, theme, instrumental, etc. So it's another option, but they're from $9.99, so it kind of depends what kind of music you want. And this one, Incompetech, is a free, royalty free, but it's also free. You don't have to pay for the music because it's from different artists. But you got royalty free music, you got the music licenses, so you got standard license, you got Creative Commons license. So if we got a royalty free music, go to beta site, then here you've got all the different types of music, and these are all free to use as long as you give attribution. So I think a lot of people use Incompetech because it's pretty handy, it's free, and you can use it however you like. Another one is a royalty-free music from Amazon. If you go to amazon.com/royalty-free music, then you can see, I think they have like 50,000 tracks that you can choose from. But you can also get these tracks for like, here's one for like 99 cents down here that you can pay for that. So you're basically going to pay for that particular music. And then another one is Pond 5. So here is you can use these different, you got different media types, you got footage, you got music, After Effects, sound effects, etc. And if we go to music, then it says royalty free stock and production music tracks for any creative project. But basically you're going to pay for that particular track. So say for instance we put in hip hop, see what we got here. So yeah, so you're basically paying, it's kind of more expensive, but the tracks are available to you if you want to use that. So these are pretty expensive. And also got a bonus one for you. This is no copyright sounds. So we go to YouTube. So this is no copyright sounds, and let's go to the About page and see what it says. No Copyright Sounds is a record label dedicated to giving a platform to the next generation of artists in electronic music, representing genres from house to dubstep via trap, drum and bass, electropop and more. No Copyright Sound music is free to use for independent creators and use generated content on YouTube and Twitch. Always remember to credit the artist, track, and no copyright sounds, and link back to our original upload. So no copyright sounds. Switch that off. So this looks like a great place that you can actually download the music and use it in your videos. So I just want to show that one to you because some people are using that, and it's all free music that is created by the original artists, but they are freely, it's all freely available. So I just kind of went through the ways that you can use copyright protected music. So the first way, I looked at all the Creative Commons music, and I showed you those 4 sites. And then I went then the other way to do it is to go get royalty-free music, which you can pay for, but also there's those other sites that I showed that where you can get it for free. So kind of it's up to you whether you want to pay for it or not pay for it. I think and then you might ask the question, well, what's the difference? You know, why should I pay for it? I think with probably with using the paid, the paid sites, I would think that, and I don't use them much because I often download like a paid site, from Audio Blocks or something like that I've used before. But the paid sites are easy to say you have some trouble that somebody claims a copyright on your music, then you can go to those paid royalty-free paid sites, and they'll actually on your behalf they'll dispute the copyright claim instead of you trying to track down the original artist, etc. So that's probably the good thing about going to those paid sites. But there's no absolute guarantee that somewhere along the way that some artist that maybe originally had said that their music is royalty free or of Creative Commons, down the road they might decide to change the license or decide that the license is expired. Then you might get a copyright strike, and then you'd have to dispute it. So just that word of warning. But for the most part, I'd say 99% of the time that if you stick with those particular music sites, then you should be good to go. But I would say as a backup, always give credit to that particular site, like Ben Sounds, to the original artist, etc. Okay, I have a question here. Flair TV broadcast. Big question is, now can I create a niche music channel using those CC songs, Creative Commons songs? So I would say yes, because you're free to use them, commercially. But one word of warning is that when you use, if you create a music channel, I would also try to add something unique to that particular video. Make sure that you're linking to your channel and giving attribution, etc. So I wouldn't just get all those songs together and just dump them into a video, but I would maybe add some reaction, add some commentary, etc. Because YouTube, just like Creative Commons videos, you're actually free to use the Creative Commons videos, but instead of just dumping them into your video and offering no commentary, no reaction, no different angle, etc., I would say the same would go for the Creative Commons music. You're going to use it in your video, but add some of your own angle, add something unique to the video, so you don't so you avoid the duplicate content penalty that you might get from YouTube, because under duplicate content they have reused content, they have repetitious content, and reused content. So you want to avoid those, avoid the claim that anybody can make or YouTube can make. So in that way, you want to offer something unique, add some commentary instead of just taking the song, slapping it into a video, creating a whole channel just with CC music. So that would be my recommendation. So just some important things to keep in mind if using this copyright protected music. When you go to these particular sites that I outlined, you want to check the license. So just don't assume that it's Creative Commons, but go to the particular, go to the link, go to the original author, or if you're paying for it, then you know that it's from Ben Sounds or it's from Incompetech or whatever. And it's royalty free, but give attribution in your description, and then if it's a single artist and there's nowhere on, you don't want to pay for it, you don't want to use any of these sites, then another way to avoid it is to get permission from the original artist. So maybe you have a friend of a friend of a friend who's an artist, and you can get permission to use the music, and so then you can give attribution in the description. So that'd be one way to avoid it. But otherwise, I would say go to those Creative Commons sites, those royalty-free sites that I mentioned, and this is the way to legally use the copyright-protected music. And if you're using the YouTube audio library, because YouTube has kind of screened those particular audio tracks, and it says it's free to use, but just check that if you're going to monetize your videos, that make sure that it's the music track that you're using doesn't say revenue sharing, because that means you won't be able to monetize that particular video, and or if you do monetize it, you'll be sharing the revenue with the artist that you're where you use the music for. So if you put that audio track into your video, then you're okay with revenue sharing, then go ahead and do it. And just keep in mind that the copyright holders of that particular music, as I mentioned before, they can down the road change their policies. So you could get, from YouTube, they have this content ID match, so that you might get a content ID match, and that might result in a warning from YouTube to either remove the audio, mute the audio, etc. So what happens, if you get a warning from YouTube, then what you can do is you can remove that audio, and you can swap the audio with a music track from YouTube. So you no longer can use that track that got a claim, but you can remove it, you can swap it, and the way to swap it is through the YouTube video editor. You can just go into an existing video, and then you can swap the audio, or you can even just mute the audio so they don't hear it. And if you go into my description, I've got a video on there on how to swap the audio on your videos. You can take a look at that. But that's one way to do it. So if you get a claim on a particular audio, it might be also that you've monetized that particular video, and the claimant is saying that stop using that music in your video to generate revenue from it, or just if you're okay with sharing the revenue, then that's fine. And sometimes you get your video gets demonetized because you're using audio in there that that has revenue sharing. So, but then if you're okay, sometimes you get a warning from YouTube, but they'll say, you know, if you're still free to use the audio, but just keep in mind that you're sharing the revenue with the original artist. Okay, it's Flair TV Broadcast said, I think it's a bit risky, can't say anything in terms of monetization process. So yeah, so if you're using that Creative Commons means that you're free to use the music, the video commercially. So you can edit it, you can reuse it, whatever, for commercial purposes. But if you want to avoid the duplicate content penalty from YouTube, then I would say, you know, you're going to add something unique to your video, and then you'll avoid that demonetization penalty. So if you've got any questions on using copyright protected music, disclaimer here, I'm not a YouTube lawyer, so I can't maybe answer everything perfectly, but I think if you really want to do this, you know, using music, then you could also create your own music. That's another way to do it. But I would say just using the YouTube audio library, using those Creative Commons music sites, royalty-free music sites, they, you know, the copyright holders have given permission to those companies, and then they get a cut from you using that music. So if you have any questions about that, then let me know in the chat. Now, some of you might not have been here at the beginning of the live stream, but I had mentioned that I think it was last year, I did get a copyright strike on a video that was 4 years old and had 2 seconds of copyright protected music that I was sort of unaware of. So a side note to that, say you're filming outdoors and there's some music playing in the background, like a band is playing in the background, or sometimes you go to a supermarket or a mall and there's music playing in the background. So you're filming inside the mall or you're filming outside, the band is playing, then whatever that, you know, whatever the origin of that music, that is actually copyright protected music. So you create the video, you film the video, you upload the video, then you get a content ID strike or claim on your video, and then you can't figure out, why did I get a content ID claim? Well, that's because there was music playing in the background. So if you're filming outside and there's music playing in the background, when you go to edit your video, make sure that you remove the music, the background music. So that's just something to really keep in mind. But yeah, in my instance, you know, they had this 4-year-old video, used 2 seconds of the copyrighted protected music, and as a result, there was a claim on it. I appealed, and the appeal failed, and as a result, I got a copyright strike on my channel. And at that time, that was like the old rules of YouTube, that if you got a strike, then you didn't get a warning, you just got a strike, and as a result, I couldn't live stream for 3 months. So now YouTube has changed the rules. You get a warning from YouTube. So that warning, you know, if you don't take action on the warning, you'll get a strike. Then if you don't take action again, you'll get a second strike, and then, you know, third strike, you're out, your channel is terminated. So even if you have a big channel and you violated the terms of service from YouTube, or you haven't corrected the warnings and the strikes that you got from YouTube, then your channel could be gone. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you want to know about how to use Creative Commons videos in your own videos, that's, you know, videos that you can reuse and edit, etc. They're free to use, even commercially. then watch the video that I'll put a link to that in the description. So how to find and use Creative Commons videos. So so if any of you are not part of the Facebook group that where you can ask questions and you can get feedback and you can interact with other like-minded creators, then I'll put a link to that. So I have it somewhere here. Where is that? So I get a link to my Facebook group. Go in here. And if any of you are not subscribed to my channel, just make sure you subscribe to my channel. I try to upload new videos every Monday and Thursday, then go live on Fridays, and also join the Facebook group so you can get feedback on your videos, ask questions, interact with other creators. And then if you need help with your videos or you need step-by-step help, then I do have an ebook that's like 100 pages that goes through how to create a channel, how to optimize your videos, how to do keyword research, how to promote your videos, etc. And that is at tubebootcamp.com. Put that in there, Tube Bootcamp. So it's a 100-page ebook, and you can. It costs $27, but it kind of goes through all the different steps you need to create a successful channel. Okay, Flair TV's got a question here. Give me some tips to create music channels like Children Lullabies. Not familiar with that that kind of lullabies. Maybe I do have kids, but they're like in their 20s now. But I would say, yeah, use Creative Commons music, add something unique, add some commentary, make your video unique. Add something new to it, so you avoid the duplicate content penalty. But don't just grab a Creative Commons music and slap it in your video. But create. People want to see something. YouTube wants to see some originality to the video. And we have another question here from Langzers. What if someone changes his mind about free YouTube music and gonna get a strike? What can I keep at hand to prove that the music was indeed free at the time I uploaded the music? So it's from if it's from YouTube, the YouTube audio library, which I very much doubt you get a copyright strike. But if you do, you can appeal. You can send a tweet to YouTube saying, I used this music from the YouTube audio library. I gave attribution. It said it was free. So usually what I heard recently that YouTube is getting very good at responding to tweets. So I'd say tweet them, or otherwise go to the YouTube community help forum, and you can ask your question on there, and then people that are the YouTube staff and people that are very active with YouTube, they'll answer that, and you'll probably get a warning from YouTube first, and so you can respond to the warning, and there's probably most likely that it'll be quickly overturned. Now, if you get a copyright strike when you've used royalty-free music, which is copyright protected music, where the artist has given permission to that company, then contact the company, contact the artist, and tell them this is the music that I used from this particular company, and it said it was royalty free, and so you can dispute it. So unfortunately, it's a bit of a process, but that's all you can do. But I think that's very rare that an artist will change their mind and get a strike, but it does happen. Okay, we got a confirmation on that. Yeah, just tweet them. Yeah, so just send a tweet. Usually they're pretty responsive. I haven't had to tweet them about something recently, but if you're a member of the YouTube Partner Program, then you can contact them directly via email and get a response back from YouTube. So I would use their tweet. They also, if you go to the YouTube contact information, you can send them a letter. Go to YouTube Help Forum. You can ask in Facebook groups, etc. Forums. There's different ways. So they're not really great at responding back usually, but you can also go to their Creative Insider videos and tell them in the comments. But another way to do it as well. And Lang is saying that, is there anything I should jot down now about the music piece to avoid trouble later? Yeah, definitely when you get the music, I think even if you get it from the YouTube audio library, make a note of where you got it from and the maybe even the place you got it from, the date that you got it, and then the name of the piece, maybe the name of the original artist. Maybe the length of the video. So maybe you can put that on a Google Doc or a Google Excel spreadsheet, so you just kind of keep track of it, just in case you do get a claim on that particular music. So it'd be sort of just a safeguard, but I would say if you're using music from the YouTube Auto Library, just as a safeguard, I would say, place your, give an attribution to that music piece, in the description of your video. So that would be my recommendation. Screenshot, yeah, that'd be great too. So long as you keep that somewhere buried on your computer, then screenshot is great because you got all the information there. Yeah, great. So I want to thank everybody for attending the live stream today and for your questions and your comments. And if you have any other questions, then just drop them in the comments of this video, or you're on the Facebook group. Then you can ask your questions there, become a member of the Facebook group, etc. But yeah, you're free to ask questions anywhere. But give this video a like. I don't know if this video is going to rank, but you get some using the first 24-48 hours, you get some interaction on your video. Comments and likes are all help to kind of bring that help to rank the video. But I'll probably do a video next week on just using Creative Commons videos, because try to talk about all the copyright issues is probably longer than a regular video. So that's why the live stream is great for that, because you can answer questions and also bring up different issues, etc. and show all the different sites. But keep an eye out for that. It's going to be a video all about how to use Creative Commons music in your videos. And then if you've got any other ideas for future live streams, then pop that into the comments. Okay, thanks everybody. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. Memorial weekend over here in the States. So all the best. Take care.